Hey Tony, it's Friday. And first off, to answer your question of the week, as far as book series go, I think one you'd really enjoy is called the Raven's Shadow series. I can't remember who wrote it, but the first one is called The Blood Song, and I think you would really enjoy it. It's a series that Taylor and I picked up at like a bargain book place probably 2.5 years ago. And we found it surprisingly good. We really enjoyed it. It wasn't really breaking any new ground, but it was enjoyable. So today's video will probably come in two parts. Part one will be the weekly news roundup, because boy was it a week in news. And part two will be some, I guess, other news, but it's personal news. So I'll start with the personal news first, because it's going to be shorter and much less complex. So Taylor, Justice, and I are getting back to YouTube. We have spent the past few weeks recording and editing videos. In fact, I'm about to do another hour or so of recording to go to Justice, and we'll have roughly 3 weeks of videos all set up in the next few days. So that's going to be awesome, because Team Valenstorm will be back on Monday. So we're looking forward to that. So that's what I spent most of my time doing today. I recorded some Warband, I recorded some Blood Bowl, I'm about to record some Bioshock. So if you're interested in watching some of those, you should go and hit up Team Valenstorm, because those will be out soon. Taylor and Justice are going to be doing Overcooked, Battle Block Theater, and I think Arc. But so that's what I've been doing all day. I ended up going back to court yesterday, which was nice. Been the first time back in a while, and I forgot how much I loved it, and it felt good to be back. So now let's go to the weekly news roundup, because boy was it a week. So I believe it was on Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember which one, the jury came back for Paul Manafort, and they declared him guilty on eight of his counts, and a mistrial on the other 10. Paul Manafort was President Trump's former campaign manager, who was dealing with the Mueller investigation currently, and that's how Manafort was indicted via the Mueller investigation. There were, I think, bank fraud claims, and I don't know the full charges he was convicted on, but I believe there were multiple fraud convictions, and a couple banking convictions, like illegal banking type things. So again, I don't know exactly which ones those are. I'll have to look that up. But that was pretty big news, that he was declared guilty on 8 counts, and then the other ones and the other 10 counts were mistrial. So he's going to be coming right back for it. And on those mistrial counts, only one juror said that he wasn't sure he convicted beyond a reasonable doubt. So when the next jury comes in, that will be interesting to say the least. Also, it's a pretty bad week for President Trump. His former personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, ended up getting into a plea deal, and he flipped, and he basically he said that President Trump ended up gave him the order to pay the payments to the adult film actress Stormy Daniels and the playmate that Trump allegedly had affairs with. Which, it was unsurprising that Trump gave the order, but this was the first time somebody came out and said, yeah, this is true. President Trump then came out and said that he thinks that the process of flipping should probably be illegal, which is it's a pretty foundational part of the criminal justice system, in which somebody makes a plea deal for a lesser included offense so long as they flip on their co-conspirators or their accomplices or other people who committed the crime. It's a pretty important part of what a prosecutor does. So that was a lot of news as well. All in all, oh yes, and the Department of Justice, that's led by Attorney General Jeff Sessions, has been under fire from President Trump for months now. I think just under a year, really. When the Russia a little over a year when the Russia investigation first started, when AG Sessions recused himself from the investigation, which has led to no shortage of drama between President Trump and the Department of Justice. Well, it seemed like the Department of Justice had finally had enough, because AG Sessions, who is one of President Trump's strongest backers back during his election, basically said that the Department of Justice will not be is not under your sway, and we will not allow you to change things due to political considerations. So that was a pretty startling rebuke from really one of the Justice Department, from the Justice Department's highest head person. So yeah, it was a pretty busy week in news. That was a very brief overview of just some of the news. But all in all, it was a pretty good week. Not much really happened. So I went back to court, applied to I think 40 or 50 jobs the past few days, and just been recording all day today. So Tony, my question for you is, are you going to watch did you watch any of our videos on Monday or Tuesday? Tony, I'll see you on Tuesday. Later, bro.